Welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. And now, coming to the mic, your host, Jalen Walker.
Hello, welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast, episode 2. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. I'm here alone today. Just a quick podcast right before UFC Fight Island 1, Kattar versus Ig. UFC 251, what a show. The main event wasn't what we thought it was going to be, but, you know, Usman did his thing. He took down Masvidal. Max Holloway versus Alexander, man, I'm still upset about that. I still think Max took that one, but even Dana said they got some bad judging in the UFC, but that was the decision. We got to roll with it. And Peter Yan, man, wow, that's going to be an interesting champion. You got Sean O'Malley ranked now at 15. He's going to be coming up. We'll see what happens there if Peter can hold on to the belt until Sean gets there. But who knows at this point? We'll see. We'll see what's going on there. Rose came back looking better than ever. Wow, impressed by that. And then Amanda defeating Paige. Paige very emotional after the fight. Took a huge pay cut probably in her next contract because of this loss. It's not looking that good for her. But let's move on to UFC Fight Night 1, Fight Island 1. Actually, before we get into that, Bellator, I called it last podcast. They're returning July 24th with their main card, 10 p.m. on Paramount Network. Main card is Sergio Pettis versus Ricky. It's going to be really interesting. You got Jason Jackson versus Jordan Main, Taiwan Claxton versus J.J. Wilson, and Aaron Pico versus Chris Hatley Jr. It seems like a decent card, and I think you got 3 prelim fights before that, so exciting for that, for the Bellator to be back. A lot of people didn't think it was going to happen, but they did it. Paramount Network, 10 p.m., July 24th. Tune in. All right, let's get into UFC Fight Night 1. Very interesting card we got here. Let's go ahead and start from the bottom at the welterweight. Abdul versus Mounir. I always forget how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Lazez, but I could be wrong. Oh, no, let's go back to the other slide for now. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, really exciting fight. Abdul is 10-1, and Mounir is 9-1. It's very interesting to see what's going to happen here. Abdul has won 3 of his last fights. Nico Price and back-to-back against Homasi, I think his name is. I'm not sure. But Abdul hasn't fought since UFC 228 Woodley Till, so this is going to be really interesting. His last 3 wins are all knockouts, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens there. But Mounir, he's won his last 2 fights, decent fights, but he hasn't fought in the UFC just yet. I think this is his debut. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But really interesting fight there. And then we got Molly McCann versus Tale, it's Tala or Tale? I can't remember. Santos. It's gonna be a really interesting fight. You got Molly coming off a 3-fight win streak, all unanimous decision. So she's going all 3 rounds. So we haven't really seen her have any stopping power other than 5 fights ago for the title. But that's pretty much it. And now she's in the UFC. Her first UFC fight she lost, but her last 3 she's on a streak. But they're all decisions, so we're gonna see what happens there. I really don't want to call it just yet, but that's a hard decision because you got Molly at 10-2, and you got Santos 15-1. That's two very competitive female fighters, and we're gonna see what happens there. Jimmy Rivera versus Cody Stattmann. You got Jimmy Rivera coming off a 2-loss streak. It's not looking that great. He's only won 2 of his last 5 fights, and he fought at Cejudo Moraes. So I don't know there yet. I still have faith in him, but we're gonna see. He's going against Cody, who won his last fight, and then the fight before that, I think it was the decision. I could be wrong, but I think he's 3 wins in his last 5 fights. So we'll see what happens there. Also, and then we got Tim Elliott and Ryan Benoit. So the thing with this fight is you got You got strength, you got power. Um, both these guys have a decent reach, except for Jimmy Rivera has I think it's a 68 something. I'm not sure. Cody's might be way less. I'm not sure. I have to check, but I know Riviera has an incredible reach. But that's going to be an incredible fight. They're both 31-30. And like I said, Cody's 19-2-1, and Riviera's 22-4. So we have some experience from both these guys, so we know it'll be battle. I think it's going to be all 3 rounds, but we'll see what happens tonight. Um, and then we got the main event, Calvin Kattar versus Dan Ige. Kattar just beat Stevens in a win. That was a knockout in the second round. I think it was at like 2 minutes. I could be wrong. Let me look. Yeah, 2 minutes and 49 seconds. So we'll see what happens there also. And then you got Dan, who's on a 5 streak win. He's taking out Barbosa, Henry, Griffin. Like, these are all great names. And unanimous decision, submission, unanimous decision, decision. But these are wins. And I don't know. I think Kattar has to make a statement tonight. Calvin does, and I think he will. And I think Dan he might take his L right here. I think it might stop this streak, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go ahead and go into my picks. Let's see what we got here. Go ahead and get it on over. Okay, first off, don't put it up there just yet. First off, Abdul versus Manir. This wasn't that hard for me, but I mean, it was. But at the same time, I have to give it to Abdul. Like, I think he's gonna take it, and I think it's gonna be a decent fight. I think it will be all 3 rounds. I think he'll get in a decision, but if it doesn't go to decision, it's gonna be a knockout. I take it back. Not gonna be a decision. It's gonna be. I'm calling first round knockout. I'm just gonna call first round knockout. There's no way it's gonna be a decision. Now that I really fully think about it, I watched some video of Manir's Lazez, I think his last name is, and even though he's coming off a 2-win knockout streak, I don't see it happen. I think Abdul's got this. I'm also, for the next fight, I think I'm gonna take Santos. You can go ahead and put it up there. Yeah, I'm gonna take Santos. You know, she lost her last fight, but before that, she was on a 4-win win streak, and Molly, she's on a 3-win streak with decision. But I think Santos is gonna get it done. I think she's gonna put her down, and I think she's gonna get it done, and it's gonna be an interesting battle. Onto it, Jimmy Rivera versus Cody Stratman, or Statman. Sorry, not Stratman. Sorry. Oh man, I had to go with Jimmy Rivera. I had to. I had to. I have faith in him. I think he's gonna turn it around tonight. I think we're gonna see a new and improved fighter in him, and I think I think it will be a decision. I don't think he's gonna have the full package right now. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Next fight, Tim Elliott versus Ryan. I got to take Tim Elliott. You know, I mean, this seems crazy. He's coming off 3 losses, but this is another fighter that he has to turn around tonight, and I think something's clicking, and I think he's gonna come back, and I think he's gonna try to really show what he's about. You know, like, this is the co-main event of the night. Like, there's nothing else like that. So I think he's gonna take it over Ryan. In the final fight, Calvin versus Dan. I gotta take Calvin. I know this seems crazy. I know Dan is on a 5-streak win streak, but in the long run, I think Calvin's gonna dominate. And if he doesn't, it's gonna end quick. But I think he's gonna knock him out, and I think Dan's gonna try to, like, just wrestle around or try to prolong for a decision and try to get those points. But I think Calvin's gonna come out, and he's gonna hit him with a couple combinations and daze him and finish him. I don't want to call a round or anything because I'm not sure, but those are my picks. I'm pretty excited about them. It's gonna be an interesting night. It's not as hyped up as UFC 251, but we are getting fights on a weekly basis. This Saturday, you can go ahead and change it back to main camera if you don't mind. Appreciate you. But this Saturday we will be back. Um, and I'm not sure what time. Probably 3:30 again. But we'll be talking those fights. We'll be talking uh just more UFC related content. Today we didn't have that much time, but Saturday we'll also be showing some UFC 4 gameplay that's been released from beta testers. It looks incredible, and we'll just dive deep into how the fighters and all the workers in the UFC crew out on Yaz Island has been working, and how has everything been flowing. How the COVID testing, and we're just gonna take a deeper dive into all those small details when we actually have more time, and we can take our time and talk about it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The fights are gonna start here at 10, so I believe they're on ESPN. So if you want to tune in and see if my picks are correct or not, we'll see. It was a tough choice. We got some interesting fights and interesting matchups, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Tune in, UFC Fight Island 1, Kattar versus Dan. All right, peace out, guys.